Hey gang, Roland here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 10 Dutch destroyer Tromp. Now this has become one of my favorite ships to play, and over the last, I don't know, we'll call it 6 weeks or so, as time permitted, I pulled this thing out of the dock and took it out and played some games in it. And I actually have 4 of them that I thought were especially fun, and then I hope you'll enjoy. This being the first. This is the This ship can be very frustrating to have to deal with if you're in a battleship. Now the reason for that is pretty straightforward. You can see that it has HE, AP, torpedoes, and also the airstrike. And you can see on the mini map there, the airstrike range is pretty solid. I mean, it's almost as far as the torpedo range of 12. The airstrike's what, 10 kilometers. So you've got weapons that can hit from range while you can stay invisible. You don't necessarily have to have smoke when playing Tromp. It's very handy if you have a red aircraft carrier that is keeping you lit for the red team, but that doesn't always happen. You also have, as you can see there, a speed boost, and you also have defensive fire to help with your AA. So it is possible, especially in a case like this, where you've got a Tier 8 CV that you're contending with, to shoot down some aircraft, and that can actually dissuade the player of the aircraft carrier from continuing to harass you. Now, that's not always true, but when it is, you're able to be a lot more effective, I guess would be a good way to put it. Now you can see this game is primarily Tier 10 ships. We've got Tier 8 CVs. We've got a couple of Tier 9 cruisers, a Tier 8 cruiser, and a Tier 9 destroyer. Black on our team, Yager on the other. And you can see that I've pushed in fairly close. Now, I might get radared, so I'm making use of the island here just in case. And I'm just hoping to land some torpedoes based on where my radio location indicator was pointing. Yes, it will let them know where I am, but I don't plan to sit in the same spot indefinitely. All right, now I'm keeping an eye on the aircraft. I was hoping not to get spotted by the aircraft, and it turns out that I got spotted by the gearing. And not a great position for me, because the Cleveland is also going to be able to get shots on me, but I'm going to go ahead and make him pay for that. You can see I'm bleeding a little bit of HP here. I didn't want to repair just yet. Hitting the speed boost, hoping to get out of range. I did manage to get a fire on the Cleveland. Now, what did I find particularly interesting about this game? Well, one, if you've watched my videos at all, you know that I am very big on, especially when playing a destroyer, but really it's true of pretty much any ship type, conserving your HP until the mid or late game is very important if it's possible to do. Now, there are going to be situations, and there are going to be games, of course, where you find yourself in a situation fairly early. Maybe there's a red team push on your flank or whatever, where you have to trade HP and you're hoping to do as much damage as you can, maybe kite away, maybe survive if you've got heals, get the chance to make use of those, etc. But in a lot of cases, you're going to be able to conserve your HP while doing damage to the red team by making good decisions about your positioning. And you can see I have pushed back in here to radar range, but the gearing opened up on me. And he's really going to pay for that. You can see he just got blasted. And I'm really just going to finish him off here. Now I've got a damaged engine, but I'm going to go dark. I'm just going to slow way down here. Hope that anybody that's targeting where I was is going to be firing over the top of me. Now you will see in a little while that Schlieffen, Montana, and in fact, I think the Republic, they all push this flank. And I'm able to run ahead of them, essentially just kite. And this ship is a really, really effective ship when able to do that, because the airstrikes can do damage over time, and when combined with the possibility of flooding from the torpedoes, it can be a real distraction for battleship players in particular, but pretty much anybody. So right now, we're 5 minutes in. I got 12,511 HP as Schlieffen blaps our breast, and our breast manages to take out the Cleveland just ahead of that. Now I'm going to push in here in an effort to try to get close enough to make some of these torpedoes do some work. I realize I might get detected. I'm hoping not to, but if I do, I think I can make use of the island here to go dark again. Hopefully I just won't get blapped by Montana. Montana's secondaries are going to open up here, I think. But I'm going to go dark here again very quickly. Now they know that I'm here, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. These islands kind of dictate, you can say, well, they have a lot of cover. Well, that's true. But the islands also dictate where they're going to go if they're going to push forward. Briefly detected again, but you can see I've got a nice narrow profile. A little bit harder to hit. Of course, it might do more damage if I do get hit. And I'm just using the torpedoes and the airstrikes. And you see I've got a nice mix of time. The airstrike is up, and 3 seconds from now, torpedoes are going to be up on the other side. And I'll just keep wiggling back and forth, or wiggling the ship back and forth, acting as a distraction. Now, because they know I'm out here, and they didn't have to spot me to know. I mean, they saw the torpedoes, right? And the airstrikes. They're going to continue to change course and speed pretty regularly. And I'm going to probably have more success with the airstrikes than I am the torpedoes, because the airstrikes don't take quite as long to reach the target. Now I have torpedoes up on one side. The airstrike is ready. See if I can get a fire somewhere farther back on that Republic. Thinking about putting torpedoes out ahead of Schlieffen on the other side of the island, the south side of the island instead. Go for the Republic, who I think will probably follow the Schlieffen, but we'll see. And it's like this pretty much most of the way across the map. Now, right now, this game looks like, wow, the green team is doing great. The red team's in big trouble. Well, I guess maybe they are, but the Vermont, he's not long for this world. And our team is, I think I'm going to land one right on the nose. Okay, so there's a flood, which almost certainly he repaired. And now we'll see if I can get a fire, which will burn for a while. And that is one of the strengths of this ship. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. No fire. Don't think I'm going to land another torpedo. 21 seconds until the airstrike's back up. So I'll just have to make use of the torpedoes on this side of the ship now. And Vermont does get sunk. Now, that's the only ship they can see out here other than Schlieffen. You can see our Schlieffen there at, what's he, Foxtrot 5? Yeah, more or less. And I'm still trying to get a fire on this Republic. I'm going to kick in the speed boost, try to create a little bit more distance. Allows me more ability to maneuver. Still no fire. Because I do have to rock the ship back and forth to make use of the torpedo strikes on either side. And I want to make sure that I stay far enough away that I don't get myself spotted. And the slow accumulation of damage has put me, well, certainly not going to break any records. We're 9 minutes in. I'm at 67,000 plus damage. And I'm going to have an airstrike back up here in a second. Now, I debated about going after Montana because I know that I hit him with a torpedo. But I opt instead to go for Republic because I think he's letting that fire burn out. And he's going to have another one. If I'm lucky. But I'm not. So Just wanted to give you some idea why I went after the Republic.
Двигатель в штатном режиме.
10.5 minutes to go, 67,000 damage. Not really having a whole lot of luck as those two are kind of wiggling quite a bit. But it's the constant harassment of torpedoes and airstrikes that ultimately lead both of them to turn around and leave the area. Now, I'm out here by myself. I mean, I've got the CV out here. You know, you can see him way, way down there in the corner. But the only one that's going to continue to push forward is Schlieffen, so he's going to become my new target. Republic's running away. I'll let others deal with him. I want to make sure nobody gets down there to where our CV is hiding. If you hear me slurping, it's because I've got a cup of coffee here. Oh, Schlieffen, will you eat a torpedo? Nope, doesn't look like it. Maybe, maybe, maybe.
Submarine spotted.
Yes. And he's going to repair. So that gives me a chance. Looks like he's turning out to the torpedoes that you can see there. Maybe I'll catch him here. Looking for some fire. There's a fire. And that will burn for a while.
Двигатель в форсированном режиме.
You can see Montana and Republic. They're completely out of range for me now. I have to stay away from the Schlieffen. I can't afford to get caught. Our St. Vincent is he's a little upset. I'm kind of wondering why they were chasing the red ships up there. Chasing a Jager that's at least as bad as chasing a Tromp. No fire that time, but I'll just continue to put in some work here. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know this game has gone one way and gone the other. Currently, the red team has 6 ships. We're down to 4. But we do still have a points lead on the back of the fact that our team secured the Alpha Cap fairly early. But that is subject to change because, you know, being down 2 ships, it's just a question of time until Jager or the Balau on the red team, there's a nice double fire. Begin to work on the caps. Republic and probably Montana both, although I couldn't see them in this game, are in the Charlie cap, maybe with the red CV. And our CV just continues to pummel this red Schlieffen that's been pushing toward him. You can see our Pobeda has moved to make himself as difficult to see as possible. And I'll just continue to harass the Schlieffen. Schlieffen, of course, looking for broadside shot on our Schlieffen while pushing into the corner. I'm sure he sees that's where our aircraft are coming from. Can I get another fire? Yes. And you can see our Pobeda is bringing in rockets right now, and he is in fact going to finish off the Schlieffen. Now, you can see where the radio location skill is telling me the nearest red ship is. I need to defend the Alpha Cap. You know, there's no way for me to do anything with Charlie. Pushing into Bravo against a CV, that's just going to make me a target. I've got to try and do what I can here at the Alpha Cap. St. Vincent still has half his HP, and although he's about to turn south and get behind an island, his guns can eventually be helpful. And I also have the CV helping me. He's kind of riding in my hip pocket right now, and he is going to be able to detect and or assist with shooting anything. Now you can see another comment there in the chat box about the Tromp. The guy's still complaining. It's been 10 minutes or so since he turned around and left. But and you can see. I mean, I sank 1 ship. I've done 94,000 damage. Is that overpowered? I don't think so. I mean, this ship can be a menace, no doubt, but so can any destroyer, really, against battleships that are pushing in and that don't have a DD or a sub screening for them, or a CV that's spotting for them. make sure I don't get
Торпеды прямо по курсу.
a face full of torpedoes here. Go ahead and repair
Неполадки
that.
устранены.
And here come the torps. I know there have to be more. I'm detected again, and I'm guessing
Торпеды прямо по
I'm
курсу.
probably detected by Yager. Just kind of weave right between
Торпеды
these.
прямо по курсу.
Just
Торпеды
enough
слева
to
по
get
борту.
ahead of them. And there are
Торпеды
probably
по
going to be
правому
torpedoes
борту.
coming from, yep, there they are, from my starboard side.
Торпеды за кормой.
Just outrun
Торпеды
those. I'm
справа
no
по
longer
борту.
detected. Yager must have moved away.
До конца
So I need to
боя
move to
осталось
my
5
starboard
минут.
side. St. Vincent is out here now. I have to see if I can spot
Торпеды
somebody.
прямо по курсу.
And I need to do it before
Торпеды прямо
Montana
по курсу.
and probably Republic are able to get close enough to me to be a real threat with their guns. I've still got 15,000 HP, which I think is pretty decent given the fact that we're under 5 minutes remaining in the game. I'm going to see if I can catch the Balau here. I'm guessing this is about where he must have submerged and moved. It's probably positioning against St. Vincent. I'm detected. Got to be Yager. I don't really have any choice but to move south. Don't want to use the guns. That'll just keep me visible even longer.
Торпеды по левому борту. Торпеды за кормой.
Yager's torpedoes are going to
Торпеды за кормой.
swing wide of the mark.
Торпеды за кормой. Торпеды за кормой.
And now it is really just kind of a race. You can see we've got 424 points. Red team has 466. They've got 2 camps. We've only got 1. We need to kill some ships. Montana is burning. Republic doesn't have much in the way of HP. See if I can get another fire started on Montana. And then try to use the island. This will also tell me if there's anybody back here on the south side of this island with me. You can see where the radio location indicator is pointing. Okay, I've gone dark. And now I'm visible again. I still think the only things are north of me. And I'm just going to try and keep the Montana burning. And fortunately for me, I didn't finish off the Republic. Our CV did, because I can only imagine the level of angry comments that there might have been if I'd been the one to finish them off. And I'm keeping a close eye on my radio location indicator, but I'm also noticing where the aircraft came from. You see where the red aircraft came from on the minimap? He knows I'm here. I need to nose into those aircraft so that I don't get sunk by the Pobeda.
Расчеты ПВО в полной боевой готовности.
Now the AA is nothing to write home about, but against a tier 8 CV it can be effective. Here's another fire, and hey, look at that. There's the CV. He's within my gun range. I'm going to go dark here just long enough to get the guns swung back around to the side. And I'm going to open up. He's going to be shooting at me. I need to be shooting at him. I have to count on our St. Vincent and our CV to do some work on Montana. We're going to try one more time to help out there and get the guns back around to Pobeda, who's nose in, but that's bound to change, right? Is he just going to come straight at me? No, he's turning out. It's going to give me a torpedo opportunity. Turn down there. And I'll just continue to put shells into the side of Pobeda. I've got 17 seconds till I have an airstrike back up. He's at 40,000 HP, basically. And I'll just keep chipping away. Montana's gone, and right now we have a points lead. Bad guys still have 2 camps to our 1, but I think I'm going to be able to finish off this Pobeda. 2 torpedo hits, gun's still working, and the airstrike should do the job. You can see our CV's on his way with aircraft, but I think I'm going to be able to beat him to it. And down goes the CV, and with that, as long as nobody dies here, we've secured the win. We've got 40 seconds remaining. I'm just going to get this cap to stop their points here. It doesn't really matter. I think we've got the game either way. But You can see where the radio location indicator is at. I don't want to eat
Неполадки
torpedoes from
устранены.
that side, so I'm just going to kind of speed forward, try to get around the corner of this island. 19 seconds to go, and I think the game is securely in the bag. St. Vincent is just making a run for it. He just has to live long enough for us to see victory. This was a fun game. There's 3 more coming. If you haven't played the Tromp, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.